Hey YouTube, Nathan Rose here. In this video, the first video of my new chess YouTube channel, I'm going to introduce myself and my story in chess, as well as give you some reasons as to why you should subscribe to this channel and follow along with me. So I'm an intermediate level player from New Zealand originally. I have an online ELO score in rapid chess of around about 1600 to 1700 as of the time of recording this video in early 2022. My goal, eventually, is to get up to expert level, which is an ELO score of around 2000, which is some way off for me. Like it'll take a lot of hard work and a lot of learning to get to that point. But I'm determined to get there, and on this channel I'm going to share some of the things that I learn along the way, things from my games, some of the ups and downs, some of the emotions, some of the frustrations, but hopefully it'll be instructive and entertaining content which will help you to become a stronger player too. My journey in chess began, as many young boys' journey began, with my father teaching me how to play chess. I was the best player, I would say, at my school. Now that's not perhaps saying too much. New Zealand isn't the centre of the chess universe by any means, and my school wasn't a noted chess school, but still, I could beat everyone else, even as a 12 or a 13-year-old, and that made me feel pretty good about myself. I did try going to serious chess clubs where I would play against adults, but the adults would usually beat me, and I enjoyed that far less as a young kid. So I decided to stick to playing against the other kids, and that probably limited my chess development. But hey ho, that's what happened. I really gave the game away for a long time when I entered my late teenage years. So around the age of 17, 18, as happens with many young people, other priorities took over. University and all the distractions and obligations that provides meant that chess took a back seat for about 10 years. I really rediscovered the game at about the age of 27. So I picked it up again, started to play a bit casually, went back to the chess clubs and started to try my luck there. And it culminated in me at some point deciding to write my first book about chess. Now you might be thinking, what's someone with a rapid score of 1600 doing writing a book about chess? Well, the book is about chess opening names. Here's the first volume, which came out in mid-2017, and it's not a book on how to play chess better. In fact, I say that very explicitly at the start of the book. The book won't make you into a stronger player, but it will make you into a more interesting player. And what it's about, as the title suggests, is it's about the opening names. So anyone who's been around chess for even a short while will start to become familiar with the opening names that surround the game. So there's the French defense, there's the Caro-Kann, there's the Sicilian, there's Alyakin's defense. But the book that I wanted to read, and I couldn't find, was, why are all these names called that? Like, where did these names come from? Why are they named after all these people and all these places? How did the names come to be? So because I couldn't find the book, I sat down, did the research, and wrote it myself. And about this time last year, in early 2021, I wrote a second volume because people really liked the book. And there were a lot of names in the first edition which didn't make it in. So there were definitely enough names to warrant a second volume. And you know what? There's probably enough names even for a third volume if I get time to write it someday. After I finished the second volume, I decided I would put my mind to trying to become a better player. So I'd written about all this history and all these stories, but I was still a pretty mediocre player. I mean, some would say that I still am, but it all depends on your point of view, doesn't it? Everyone has a different idea of what a strong player is. For some people, a 1600 player is unbelievably strong. For others, for world champions and grandmasters, it's like you're a nobody. But anyway, I wanted to become stronger. So I set out to learn some more of the theory behind all these openings, which I'd written so much about. I decided to pay attention to the end game as well, start training some tactics, and more importantly, just playing a lot more online. So I played a lot, my rating increased over the period of a few months, and it all came to a climax when I decided to enter my first FIDE, that's the International Chess Federation, my first FIDE rated tournament, which took place in Belgrade, Serbia. Now, the time controls in this tournament were different than what I'd been playing online. So online I'd been playing 15-minute games. So each player has 15 minutes to make their moves. Whereas in Serbia, under classical time controls, each player has an hour and a half to make their moves. Plus they get more time after 40 moves are played, and plus you're getting even more time every time a move is made. So there's a much higher degree of concentration required. There's far fewer mistakes. And I knew that for me it was going to be more about the learning experience than expecting to do too well, right? So I was really there to enjoy myself and soak it all in. So as expected, I didn't do too well, but I was happy enough. I won a couple of games. I drew another game and I had 5 losses out of the 8 games that I played. But that was encouraging enough, and I decided to enter another tournament pretty soon afterwards in Armenia. Now the thing about Armenia, which I didn't realize at the time, is that the junior players in Armenia are learning chess from a very young age. And in many cases, it's even a subject taught at school alongside mathematics and science. They have chess as well. But I didn't know this at the time, and the group that I was in was filled with these Armenian juniors. And they, when I sat down to play them, they didn't know that I was the author of 2 books. And if they did know, they wouldn't have cared. They just looked at me like a lion looks at a zebra, like at a fresh piece of meat that they're going to eat for breakfast. And that's what these kids did to me. They really taught me a lesson in chess, and they taught me a lesson in humility. I was pretty upset, to be honest. I'd been spending all this time, all this effort, all this practice on trying to get better, and here I am getting crushed by 11-year-olds. Not a nice feeling. Not a nice feeling at all. So the most important thing, I think, when you have a setback like this is to not give up, not to lose heart. So, you could give up, you could say, well, chess is not for me, or, this is true with anything, isn't it? If you're trying to learn a language, or if you're trying to learn a musical instrument, as soon as things get hard, it's very easy to quit. But I decided, no, I'm not going to quit. I'm going to use this nadir of my chess career as a moment to remember and try and turn things around. So I decided to work with a professional coach, and I might talk about this coach that I've been working with over the last 3 months or so a bit more in another video. But it has helped, I think. It has helped me to become more aware of what my strengths and areas of improvement are, to break the game down into its many facets. So rather than just looking at chess as a whole, which is a huge thing, you can break it down into things like critical moments and moments where you need to come up with a strategic plan and improve your position. You can focus on the psychology of chess as well. So my coach has made me aware of all of that, and it has improved my play, no doubt. And more recently, I achieved a milestone where I went to another tournament, a third tournament in Poland. That was over the Christmas New Year period, and there I was playing again under classical time controls, and I achieved a positive score. So I had 4 wins, 3 losses, and a draw. So I won more than I lost, which I was very happy about. So on this channel, as I strive to continue to improve, what I'm going to do for you guys is to share some of the secrets that I've been discovering along the way. They say that one of the best ways to learn is to teach something to others. So I hope to do that. I hope to solidify these ideas in my own head by teaching them to you, my viewers. And I hope that we can all learn together. So when you leave comments and ask questions on the channel, we can use those to create the type of content that you want to see. So my idea for this channel, which may change based on what you want to see, let me know in the comments below. My idea is to share snippets from my games, lessons that I've learnt from other people's games, which I feel is instructive. And I'm going to be going to more tournaments over 2022 and beyond. So you can follow along and see live updates from all these cool locations that I'll be traveling to. And, you know, maybe we can even meet each other there. Wouldn't that be cool, you know, to have a drink after our games, talk about how they went, and build a bit of a community of improving chess players. So I think that wraps it up for this video. I didn't want to make it too long, but if you like what you see, if you want to learn more, if you want to become a better player and enjoy the game more, please hit subscribe and stay tuned for more videos. Bye for now.